Back now at 8:10 with outrage over a lingerie line for girls as young as 4 years old. Critics say it's not just the apparel that's a problem, but also the promotional photos of young models in very adult poses. NBC's Mara Schiavocampo has the story this morning. Mara, good morning.
Good morning to you, Savannah. How young is too young for sexy underwear? The problem for some is much bigger than just one line of underwear. It's that little girls are being sexualized far too often. Little girls in midriff tops, camisoles, ruffled bras and panties. This is lingerie for 4-year-olds. The underwear, innocently dubbed Loungerie, is a new collection from French company Jour après Lune. It's designed for 4 to 12-year-olds and is upsetting many.
It's a little racy for little kids.
It just shows too much skin, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, does the little girl even need that top?
They're just the latest products for little girls to cause a big stir, crossing over from the adult world to the kids zone, including padded bras for girls as young as 7, bikinis for babies, and high heels for toddlers, as we've previously reported.
What is up with these shoes?
So don't start them at the age of 0.
It's not just the products, but how they're being marketed. Tiny tots with big hair, frolicking on a bed, sitting on a makeup table.
It's brilliant marketing, I think, on their part. I think that they definitely went into it thinking this is going to get me a lot of attention, be it bad or attention or good attention. And you know the saying, no PR is bad PR.
It's even seen in the pages of high fashion magazines. The face behind this seductive pose is just 10 years old. French model T-Lane Blondeau's sultry spread in January's French Vogue led to such an outcry, her mother shut down the young girl's Facebook page, writing, "I want to protect her from the deepest of my heart, so we are going to close this." Some critics fear that marketing is encouraging young girls to grow up too quickly. A dance studio in the UK is even offering pole dancing classes for girls as young as 3. Photos from the Daily Mail newspaper showing tots twirling around metal poles.
The impact that this hyper-sexualization has on girls is they become overly sexualized too early. They're preoccupied with sex. They're preoccupied with their body image, which can contribute to self-esteem issues and body image issues.
Glamorous and beautiful images, which some fear could have very ugly consequences. Now, we reached out to the French company behind the lingerie about the controversy. They released a statement saying their goal was to create, quote, soft and agreeable undergarments for children and that there are no vulgar connotations. Now, as for that pole dancing class in the UK, an instructor emailed us to say it's no different from a kid's gymnastics class and there is nothing sexual about it. Savannah?
All right, Mara Schiavocampo, thank you. Robyn Silverman is a child and teen development specialist. Donnie Deutsch is the chairman of the advertising giant Deutsch Incorporated. Good morning to both of you.
Yes, morning.
Okay, cards on the table. When I first looked at these photos this morning, I actually felt a little sick to my stomach. I mean, is there any justification for these advertisements and a lingerie line for little girls?
Let's
Robyn?
not mince any words here. This is sexualization of girls, and that means that we are thrusting sexuality inappropriately on another person, in this case children, and we know that sexualization of children can cause a lot of problems, eating disorders and poor sexual health later on, risky behaviors. This is not child's play.
So I think we agree that just lingerie, the concept of lingerie for little kids is not appropriate, but then the advertising, Donnie, just takes it to the next level.
Let me talk first as a dad with 3 daughters, 2 little ones at home, and also as an ad guy. This is grotesque. There are no 2 sides to this argument. The poses, it's vulgar. Shame on this company. I hope the authorities look at them. There's no, hey, shock value. One of the women in the earlier said, oh, shock value. There's shock value, and then there's repulsiveness. And, you know, this is a big problem right now. I have young girls, and I remember shopping for a Halloween costume. And everything is like the slutty nurse and the slutty this, and like slutty is the new black. And something's got to stop here. I mean, something has got to stop. And basically, the word negligee in and of itself doesn't belong there. Number 2, the poses are ridiculous. The clothing is ridiculous. And you know, this is just not even a debate subject. This is disgusting.
And Robyn, I mean, you talked about the effect of these kind of images on little girls. I got to tell you, when I looked at it, my thought was, think of the creeps out there that now have these photographs to look at. I mean, it just plants the seed even further.
And you know, people wonder, why do we care? It's in France. But what happens in France doesn't stay in France. It permeates all of our airways. Here we are talking about it now in the United States, and it affects our girls. We need more positive images out there that depict our girls in a way that say that looks is not the most important thing, and certainly sex is not appropriate for this age
There's another thing
group.
going on here, and I would love to talk to the parents of those girls. We live in a world now where people are so starved for celebrity and attention and notoriety that parents or people or kids will do anything. And, you know, I'd like to really examine the parents. Obviously, those kids are victims here. But
yeah, I mean, look at French Vogue got into some trouble. There were 2 photos of a 10-year-old model all dolled up. The Vogue called it high fashion poses. But, I mean, is it going too far, Robyn, to say that this is kind of becoming a trend?
I feel like it is. We are seeing images constantly, and we don't see the positive images. We see these constant negative images, and they do have an effect. We know that these girls are affected by them because we see them in studies constantly. That adult makeup, that adult styling, that adult positioning that is just sick.
And it doesn't stop there. I have to tell you, you know, I was at a bar mitzvah recently, and it's all 13-year-old girls. And they're in cocktail dresses and high heels. And the struggle I have as a dad, even with my 8-year-old, is to constantly pull her back. It's just somehow they're getting images out there that it's off the shoulder, that sexy is good at a young age. And this is a macro problem. It really is.
We've got to spark some change here.
Indeed. Robyn Silverman, Donnie Deutsch, we're all in agreement on this one.
I like to fight. There's nothing to fight about today. There's nothing to fight about today.
No. All right.